Hello everyone, I'm Tracy Koga, and if you're like me, I cannot believe how fast summer is flying by. So we're going to take the next few weeks to look back at summer of 2022 when things were back to normal and we could have guests right here in our studio. Hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, welcome to another special edition of Hue at Home on location. We're here on Ellen Street, and that is the site of IRCOM. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary of building a community of belonging. IRCOM stands for Immigrants and Refugees Community Organization of Manitoba, and it has been on the streets, in the homes, creating a community that not only makes a sense of belonging for immigrants, but also to build new bridges between communities. We'll have some special guests on the show, including Clayton Sandy, and also a former IRCOM resident. But right now, let's talk with the Executive Director, Shireen Donetto, to learn more about IRCOM. Okay, everybody, if you just take a look around, waving to so many beautiful faces. Shireen, you are, can I say you're the star of right now? IRCOM is like a little gem in a huge, huge city, and you must be so proud today.
We are extremely proud. Thank you so much. IRCOM has been here in the heart of the inner city for now 30 years, serving newcomers to Canada.
Okay, so you spoke so well on the welcome to everybody. Can you again talk to us about the values about IRCOM and what they stand for?
Yes, absolutely. At IRCOM, we really believe that no one is a client or a staff or a volunteer. We're all part of the same community, and everyone belongs. And so when we're working and supporting families in their settlement journey, we're walking alongside them to help them adapt to Canada and eventually become our newest citizens.
In your own words now, and this has been going on for 30 years, and it really is totally amazing. You've just come on board as the Executive Director. What are some of your visions, I guess, for this place as we head into a future, and a bright future, I think?
Yeah, absolutely. We know that immigration is growing, and so this is really exciting to us. So we want to provide wraparound holistic supports to newcomer families. We have 2 sites in the inner city, so we also want to work with our partners to strengthen the inner city. It's been a tough 2 years during the pandemic, so there's a lot of work ahead of us, but we are more connected than we ever have been, and there are a lot of things that we want to tackle as a community.
Well, you look around, Shireen, and there's so many different cultures represented here, and they're all so happy and playing and laughing together. It's amazing.
It is. We have at least 23 different countries living under the same roof at IRCOM, and you can walk down the hallway and your neighbors from Afghanistan. You walk the other way, your neighbors from Vietnam. Another way, some South Sudan. So you learn about multiculturalism in Canada at IRCOM. It's like a wonderful microcosm of what multiculturalism is in this country.
For yourself too, Shireen, what are some of the things, I guess, that you first noticed when you took this job?
Well, I noticed that I couldn't keep track of all the programs. There were so many of them. We really have that holistic model. So there are programs for the littlest baby who's just born into a family to, like if you have elderly parents that you may have sponsored to come to Canada. there are programs for everyone, and I really love that. The other thing that always strikes me about IRCOM is that we work where people live. And so we build these really profound relationships. And relationships means trust. And trust means that you can be far more effective as a service provider. When you go to a family's home and they make tea for you, of course they're going to bring out some snacks, and you're meeting with them to talk about your settlement goals, right? It's just a different way of working, and it's highly effective.
If you take a look at our city now, Shireen, what are some of the things that we as citizens can do to make the welcome a lot easier? Because I can't imagine not knowing anyone and at least having IRCOM here as a home to come to. But what can we do as citizens?
Sure, that's a great question. Because integration, it's a two-way street. And so I think everyone has to you have to put yourselves in the shoes of newcomers. You might have experienced it. People might experience it when you travel and you don't speak a word of the local language. So, support people, help them. They're at the grocery store, they look lost at the bus stop. Just provide supports on a daily basis. I think also our systems have to work to be, inclusive. And I think they're doing a great job. But, schools, different kinds of systems just need to work to be accepting, to address anti-racism, and make sure that we're welcoming people. Because our families, they want to become Canadians, they want to contribute, they want to get jobs. They just need the opportunities to do so.
Well, 30 years, and I'm sure it's going to last many, many more. Congratulations, Shireen. This is amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you again.
Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up. I'm digging you. I'm hitting you. Girl, you know what's up. Say I'm digging you. And I'm more than you. So tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up.
Welcome back to Hue at Home. We are on location on Ellen Street. It is the home for IRCOM, and I have the beautiful Amina here. And Amina, IRCOM must have a fond spot in your heart because it was once your home.
Yes.
So share your story on how IRCOM came into your lives and helped you.
Thank you so much. Honored to have this interview about IRCOM as my first home in Canada. We came to Canada in 2011. That was around November. And we stayed at Welcome Place for around two and a half months. And we couldn't get any housing places. But one day, my husband kept insisting, saying, now we don't have any housing. The kids, by that time our kids were so young. So we, in fact, for the kids, they become so, they didn't feel so good because it was a small place and they had nowhere to play. We couldn't move out. So one day, my husband speaks to, she was the director, the CEO of Welcome Place, that is Madame Wanda. And then Madame Wanda said, okay, I'll try to find you somewhere. Then she called in the CEO of IRCOM. By then she was called Dorota. And then, okay, I cannot say the other name. I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's okay.
Yes.
And then once you got to IRCOM, what was it like for your family?
Because Dorota asked my husband, will you like the place? And by that time, why I would like to be so grateful to Dorota. She was for her maternity leave. And when somebody is for maternity leave, she's not supposed to answer any calls. But really deep from my heart, it really touched me. It really touched me. So I said, she must be a very good person. They said, would you like I hope they will like the place. And I said, what does she mean? And when my husband said, I asked him, when he came to see the place, I asked him, how is the place? He said, oh, the place is so good. And then we accepted to come to the place. And everybody in this place was so good to us. The people in the human resource, the housing, everybody was so good to us. The likes of Angie, the likes of Talatu, Richard, Carol, and Mariam. So many. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine your life without IRCOM? I mean, it is so hard to come to a new country without knowing anyone, but now knowing everything that happens here, would you see yourself where you are today if it was not for coming here first?
I don't know where I would have been if it was not for IRCOM, because IRCOM gives our children like a stepping stone. IRCOM defines our children's future, starting point, where our children can start from. Where do we start? Where can when you come with kids and go to a place that is not organized like this place, you really feel, say, how will I start with my children? But when we came here, because of the programs that they have made, that they have put in place, my children were able to have a starting point, even us to have a starting point, because from there we had to sit down. And when you come to Canada, your credentials are put aside. So I had to go to school and finished school. After I finished college, I started working, and my husband was taking care of our daughter. Then from there, my husband also went to school, completed his school. Then we got jobs. It's because of IRCOM that we are what we are today with my kids.
Well, so well put, Amina. This was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Hue at Home. I have Knowledge Keeper Clayton Sandy with me. And Clayton, you are all over this city, but today part of the 30th anniversary for IRCOM, the barbecue, and a powwow. So let's first talk about the tradition of powwow and what that means.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for coming down and taking part in this. It's going to be a very good event, and I'll talk about a little bit about why we powwow. I'm a traditional dancer. I've been dancing for about 40 years now. So it actually it's taken me all over North America, and I've danced in probably mostly every state in the United States and Canada, and I danced on Sesame Street one time, and I danced for the Queen once. So it's really taken me all over the place. But what I really like about powwow, of course, is part of my culture, but also too, it's really helped me keep strong, helped me keep focused, it's helped me stay away from drugs and alcohol, and it helped me introduce me to a lot of really nice people from all over North America that were kind of going on the same journey as I was. And then basically, when you go to a powwow, it's depends if you go to a traditional powwow or a competition powwow. And of course, the competition powwow is you dance for money. So basically, the category that I used to dance in was men's fancy. I started that many years ago, and I moved on to men's traditional. Now I'm in senior men's traditional. But basically, I still get out there and I try I try to dance still, but I love dancing. And when you go to powwows, there's something there for the whole family. It doesn't matter if you're a tiny tot or if you're 90 years old. There's something there for everybody. There's all the different categories are broken up by different categories and different age groups. So anybody can come and the whole family participates. And I think one of the things that it's done for our people, it's made our people understand that alcohol was never part of our culture. So it's really helped our people get really a lot stronger and learn about who they really are, other than what they've learned about, you know, growing up, which wasn't much, or what they see on the streets of Winnipeg. So yeah.
And if we look at this wonderful place today, Clayton, IRCOM, and what it means to immigrants, and you do too have a strong association. You've helped Shireen a lot too in building the bridges between newcomers and Indigenous people here.
Yeah, I met Shireen a couple of years ago, and I think I can't remember which committee I was sitting on, but we met. Of course, it was on Zoom at that time. And I think in the last 3 years I met so many people on Zoom. Anyway, so I'm meeting them in person now. So Serena and I and another lady from Mosaic, we actually did a gathering 2 months ago at the museum on Main Street, and we actually brought together about 180 immigrants, and we did nine sharing circles at the same time on the topic of racism, because all the people that I've met through Shireen and through Abdi and through Hani and through Shakila, they're all immigrants, but they all face the same things that I face as an Indigenous person living in Winnipeg and Manitoba, and it's just a lot of basically misunderstanding, and people don't really know who we are. So together, I've been doing a lot of work with about 4 or 5 newcomer agencies, just to try and help them along. You know, giving them the help that I wish I had like 30 years ago. So that's basically what I do.
Oh, and to be here today, Clayton, if you look around, there's so many different faces from so many different cultures. It's really great.
Sure, yeah. The first time I met Hani was in 2016. He brought about 60 immigrants to a powwow I was dancing at Brokenhead, and I noticed, there's a big tent there and a lot of different looking people, So everybody was kind of looking at each other, and eventually people started mixing, and so I went over and introduced myself, and I had my outfit on and shared what my outfit meant and stuff like that, and then we actually had them. They gave time for them to dance their culture too, so they got to share their own culture, and then they brought a lot of food from their own countries. So a lot of Indigenous people there got to eat different kinds of food, and then vice versa. So it was all in all, it was a really super day. But that's how I got started on this journey. Yeah.
Oh, so incredible. So are you going to be part of the powwow performance?
Well, I'm going to be doing the emceeing, so I'll be the masters of ceremonies for the powwow. So I think I have about maybe 7 or 8 dancers coming, and so yeah, we're on from 5:30 to 6, and yeah, come and join us.
I was just hoping that we would get to see you dance.
I'll make sure I'll have you up dancing. Yeah.
Oh, well, later on in the show, that might come.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Khalid.
Thank you.
We want to thank all of our special guests on today's show, and congratulations to IRCOM for 30 years of doing such incredible work, and may the next 30 be even better. For Hue at Home, I'm Tracy Koga. We'll see you next week.